Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel to the 1982 sci-fi masterpiece Blade Runner and stars Ryan Gosling, Harrison Ford and Jared Leto. And it's directed by Denis Villeneuve. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And, Ridley Scott is back as the executive producer. And I wasn't sure how I was going to take this film, because it's one of those things where, you've got this classic movie and then they wait so many years to do a sequel, and it's like, this film isn't going to live up to the original. It never does. Sequels barely do, to be honest. And it's like there's been that much of a gap between films. Is anyone going to really care? And all I can say after seeing this movie is, wow. The Blade Runner franchise, it now has another masterpiece. I absolutely love this film. To me, it's up there with the original. It is absolutely fantastic. The acting is brilliant. Ryan Gosling plays a new Blade Runner called K, and basically he sets out to capture a replicant at the start, and then he finds some information, and that sets him off on an investigation, and it goes on from there basically. And it's not an action fest, which some people could have thought, let's turn Blade Runner into an action franchise or something like that. It's a crime drama basically. There's a lot of investigations going on, lots of crime solving. It's like the original film noir type, and yeah, he'll get clues to one thing, he'll go solve that, he'll lead him on to something else, and then that leads him on to something else, and the acting is fantastic. Ryan Gosling again, I don't think I've seen a film I haven't liked Ryan Gosling in. He's absolutely brilliant in this. Harrison Ford, he returns as Rick Deckard, and it's one of his best performances in recent years. I thought, he had a good performance in Star Wars, a couple of years ago. But this is just brilliant. There was rumours during the original run that he didn't like Blade Runner. He didn't like the production, he didn't like the film, blah blah blah. But obviously over time things have gotten better between him and Ridley Scott and the producer and everything, and he's come back and he's done a brilliant performance. And I like the way that they introduce Deckard back into the story. It's not like it's quite a bit into the film, spoiler alert. There's not going to be minor spoilers in this. I'm not going to, tell you much to, really about the plot. But I will tell you this, Deckard appears pretty much halfway through the movie. It's like, they wanted to bring Deckard back, but it's not like they wanted to say right, we've got Harrison Ford, we've got Deckard, so he's going to be in the entire movie. I like the way that he naturally enters the story, because basically this is Ryan Gosling's Agent K storyline. This is his story, and there's a mystery, that has to be solved. One that could potentially, destroy society, basically. Jared Leto, he's in this. He plays Nyanda Wallace. He owns the Wallace Corporation, and they're the new corporation that took over the Tyrell. And the backstory is that things happened. There was a blackout. There was some ecological disasters, and Nyanda Wallace kind of engineered, farming, which he engineered crops, which kind of saved humanity in a way. And replicants are still the old replicants are illegal, but Nyanda Wallace and the Wallace Corporation started doing new replicants, and they're legal. So they've still got the old ones, which are still getting hunted down by Blade Runners. And it's a long film. It's about 2 hours 45 minutes, but it doesn't feel that long. It takes you along for the ride. And it's certainly a film that I would want to see again, definitely. Yeah, the music is brilliant. It's composed by two people. I can't remember one of the guys. Obviously, the other is Hans Zimmer. And he can't do any wrong when it comes to music. The cinematography is fantastic. Roger Deakins has done that, and it's, I don't know a film that is, lensed that hasn't looked beautiful. He's one of the best cinematographers out there. I think he's been nominated for 11 Oscars and he's never won one, which is a travesty. So hopefully he'll be nominated for, this film, because there's some absolutely beautiful visuals in this movie. And yeah, the story is fantastic. Like I said, the supporting characters, they're good as well. Robin Wright, she's the police chief. She's pretty good. Yeah, there's some brilliant ideas in the movie. Ryan Gosling's girlfriend, that's a brilliant idea. I was watching the movie and kind of thinking, I'd actually want that product. But on a serious note, yeah, I didn't really find any flaws at all with this movie. I absolutely loved the story. I like the fact that it was back to the film noir. It went at its own pace. It wasn't an action fest. The action was there when it needed to be, but it didn't overall. The story. The story was the main focus. The characters were the main focus. And yeah, I absolutely thought this film was fantastic. It was, I can't wait to watch it again for a second time, and then maybe a third time and a fourth time. It is one of my favourite movies of the year. Possibly one of my favourite movies of all time. It's definitely one of my favourite sci-fi movies of all time, up there with the original Blade Runner and Aliens, So I can't, praise this film enough. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything out. The director, Denis Villeneuve, I think he's called. He's done some really good films in recent time. Prisoners was a fantastic film. Sicario, brilliant film. Arrival, brilliant film. They all share, they're all beautiful films with great cinematography. I think Roger Deakins did those as well. And then Blade Runner, you can tell that he's a fan of the original movie, because, if he wasn't, then it would show in the direction. So yeah, I can't eat enough praise on this film. I absolutely love this movie, so I'm gonna give this a rating of A+. Yeah, I love this movie. I'd like you guys to let me know down below in the comment section if you love this movie. Did it answer the questions that you wanted answering from the original movie, or did it add more questions? There is a plot twist, that could, go on into further films. I'm not sure whether I'd want further films, to be honest, because to me, the first two are perfect. This is like a self-contained story in a way. It ends in a good way. I'm not sure if I want a third. If I did a third and it was on a par with this, then brilliant. But, we'll see. So, yeah, write in my comment section, guys. Let me know what you think of this movie. Like and share my channel. And remember, guys, stay heroic.